Hi, welcome to Actual Spinster. My name is Anna Marie. Today I'm just gonna do like a little TBR for September. So it's kind of like a combined TBR for Shorty September, which I spoke about in a recent video, and also Virago season. It's like kind of a tradition. I think this is the third year now where during Virgo season, which is like the 22nd of August to the 23rd of September, I try to read at least one Virago published book because it's a pun. And also I have a little, collection of Virago books. With this TBR there is a caveat, which is that I'm really very overwhelmed. I don't think I'm going to read very much. So a lot of these are just kind of like potentials, and it's sort of more just like talking through like a little pile of books with you, I guess. Yeah, we'll see. Obviously for Shorty September you're reading short books, so that's quite helpful if you're overwhelmed. I also am going to be reading this in September because I'm currently reading it right now, and that's The Passion According to Renée Vivian by Maria Mercé-Marçal, translated by Kathleen McNerney and Helena Buffery. I'm literally like 18 pages in right now, so hopefully I will read this. It's not, it doesn't count for any of the challenges or anything like that. I will say I also would really like to read this, which is a book I said was in my Women in Translation Month TBR, but yeah, also doesn't fit for any category. I also have been trying to read a book from every decade of the 1900s this year because I'm doing this like pre-2000s publishing, so I thought also this could be like a nice fun way, little challenge too. I think I might like institute it as a challenge for every year because that's kind of fun. But yeah, this is published, or was originally published in 1909, so it would count for the 1900s, which is one of the decades I don't have. Yeah, I recently ticked off the 70s, so I think now I only have the 30s and the Ohos to get to. This is A Woman's Affair by Liane de Pougy, translated by Graham Anderson from the French. For my Virago reading, I have 4 things to hold up, but I think I'm just going to read one of them, and I don't think it's going to be My Cousin Rachel, which is a shame because I really wanted to, but it's just like, it's a long book, and like, I think I'm already overwhelmed enough. But I do really want to get to this, so hopefully I will still soonish. Another option I have is this, which is Who Was Changed and Who Was Dead by Barbara Comins, which I got this year. I think maybe in February, which is very short, and like all of these other options, they would definitely count for Shorty September, so that's a great crossover. I'm not sure about this. I think it's going to be like a weird little book, but I'm also just not sure if I actually want to read it right now. We'll see. Yeah, I think out of the books on my Virago reading list, these are definitely the ones that I will most likely get to. One of them, perhaps both, but I think probably one. This is A Far Cry from Kensington by Muriel Spark, and this is Loitering with Intent, also by Muriel Spark. Yeah, I've spoken a lot about Muriel Spark on my channel. I actually haven't read her work for a little while, or maybe did I recently reread something? But actually one of my more popular videos, like sort of in a long-term sense, is like a video I made talking about what Muriel Spark books I had read. So I think she is quite like a, one of those like somewhat like underrated but also quite beloved authors. But yeah, so this one is about would-be novelist Fleur Talbot, who takes on a job on the grubby edge of the literary world as a secretary, and her work in progress gets stolen by the man that she's a secretary for. Honestly, I think maybe this one's got it for me, but actually both of these books are about publishing and books and like the literary world. Oh my gosh, I just want to read all of these, honestly. I love Muriel Spark. Yeah, but this one seems to be kind of about like, it's like one of those books where there's like recollections, and Mrs. Hawkins is looking back on her time when she told Hector Bartlett that he writes terrible writing, and there's lots of repercussions, including blackmail. She was embroiled in a mystery involving anonymous letters, quack remedies, blackmail and suicide. And obviously, if you'd like to participate, please do. Obviously, all you need to do is read a Virago published book during Virgo season, and if you do, definitely let me know. Sometimes I make more of a like go of it. I mean, never properly really, but like normally I would have made a TBR before, as opposed to like right in the middle of a Virgo season, but it's just not to be this year. Maybe one year it will be like an actual thing. Maybe when I get 1,000 subscribers I'll make it into like more of a thing. So next up we just have some like potentials that would work for Shorty September really. I have Abolish the Family, A Manifesto for Care and Liberation by Sophie Lewis, which I think I read the first chapter of, but it's a very, very short book. It's 90 pages or something. yeah, it's 90 pages and then there's like notes and stuff at the back. And yeah, I just really like to read it. Also because I was somewhat disappointed in the Care Manifesto book that I read recently, and I also am planning to make like a summer reading wrap up. I haven't really like wrapped up a lot of the books I've read in the past sort of 3 months, so that will be coming as one like wrap up altogether, I think. So I'll talk more about it then. But yeah, I read the Care Manifesto and I thought it was okay, so hopefully this will be better. I also have another book that I got recently, which was The Snowball by Bridget Brophy. I talked about this already. It's London, New Year's Eve. Snow shimmers on a Georgian mansion. Oh, I didn't realise that the main character in this is called Anna. I really think it has been like the year that I've read like about lots of like important Annas in books, like not on purpose, but obviously it seems silly to say like, oh, it seems short in a book, in a TBR video for an event called Shorty September, but it seems short. I am having a bit of like a reevaluation with like my relationship to my books at the moment, and like it's not like a big deal, but then like I'm trying to figure out kind of what I want to do going forward, and I know I'm gonna have to move at some point fairly soon, so it's also kind of like I'm thinking about that, because obviously moving books is like the worst part of moving. It's probably not true, but like it is often the very heavy part, at least for me. And I don't like how I have so many books I want to read that when I get new books in, I struggle to read the books that I really genuinely want to read. Here's another book that I got recently. This is Silke the Wild by Zuzman Sergalovich, translated by Daniel Kennedy from Yiddish. Okay, so this book is over 200 pages. It's 276 pages, but I think it's really important to note that, doing this very badly, okay, if you like squeezed it up to fit with a regular sized book, I'm like 100% sure you'd lose 76 pages, which is how much over 200 it is. So I just feel like this counts, you know? And obviously for Shorty September you just make up your own rules. Also like the text font is pretty big, so again I don't think it's that much over. To be honest, I don't think it is looking very likely that I will get to this, but I wanted to include it anyway because I'd like to read it at some point soonish. It's about a 19-year-old girl who's been living in the forest, called Silke obviously, and then kind of what happens when the outside world starts to encroach on her own world. Also, this was published in 1922, and I've done a really bad job of reading books from the 20s this year, which is something I try to do because I like the 1920s, so hopefully I will get to it before the end of this year at least. I'm holding up 3 books, but really it's just kind of one book slash even just one short story, and like from making the short book recommendations video, it made me really want to reread some of Salinger's short stories, specifically his Glass Family short stories. So there are some, this is not all Glass Family stuff, this is for Esme with Love and Squalor. I think that A Perfect Day for Banana Fish, Uncle Wiggily in Connecticut, and Down at the Dinghy, those are the ones in here that relate to the Glass family, and those are the ones I'm going to be reading. It depends. There's also another one that is not actually published. It was on the New Yorker, which I'm struggling to get access to. It's called like Hapworth 16 1924, so if you have access to that, let me know. Maybe you could like send me a PDF or something. These 3 stand in for A Glass Family story by Salinger, Rayside the Roof Beam, Carpenters, Seymour an Introduction, Franny and Zuri. The 3 stories I read in this, all that elusive 4th story that is difficult to access. I think probably the most likely is, honestly I think probably the most likely are these ones because I haven't read these yet, and then maybe Raise High the Roof Beam Carpenters, but we'll see. So yeah, those are like the things that I kind of would like to read. I think like, you know, obviously I am currently reading that is definitely on the docket, as they say. A Mural Spark books are definite, and then these 3 are more definite than the others I showed, but like not super high priority because I'm trying not to stress myself out. I knit this jumper. It hasn't been blogged, but hasn't it got great sleeves? I did show off me knitting it, I guess, in some clips. Yeah, let me know if you're participating in Shorty September. I hope you've had a good summer and your reading has been going well, and yeah, I will talk to you when I next talk to you. Bye.